CMYK color stencils creation. I'm going to be using Photoshop for this. So I already have a file that's already kind of created that's a collage of multiple photos and something that's been kind of reworked from its original content, and I want to open this up in Photoshop where I need to make some adjustments to this to prepare the files to output them to a printer so that I can make the color layers that I need for CMYK print and screen print. So one of the first things is that I want to double check my image size and make sure that it's the actual size that I want it. Normally you'd just make your file the size that you wanted from the get-go if you knew that you were going to make this into a screen print, but I need to readjust this because it's way too big for what my intentions are. The next bit here I'm pointing out is that the default format in Photoshop is to make the file RGB. So I need to make some adjustments here. So first thing I need to do is flatten the image because I have multiple layers here. So I need to make all the layers into one single image. Make sure you know all your edits are done at that point. And then I need to change the actual mode of the image from that RGB mode to a CMYK color mode. And now you'll see that my layers or my channels have changed to where I have cyan, magenta, yellow, and then my black key. So if I unselected each of those and tried to print this out, I'd still get the entire image. So what I need to do now is I need to have all of those color layers on separate files. So over on this little menu here, I need to split the channels. So this is going to take all those channels and make them their own files. So now you can see that I have individual workspaces that have my cyan, my magenta, my yellow, and my key. And so it's not quite done here. So if I was try to expose this, I wouldn't have any of my details because the light doesn't recognize that, right? So I need to turn this into a bitmap, which I went through there. And here are the calculations for how I figured out the numbers that I'm about to show you. So pixels per inch, 2 times the lines per inch, a quarter of the threads per inch. So in this, I'm making sure I have a halftone screen set up, and I'm doing 120 pixels per inch for my calculations because I'm using a 230 screen. So then each color has its own specific angle that I should be outputting the files at. So with the cyan, it is 15 for the angle. So I'm going to change that. My frequency is 60, which was also a calculation that I used. And so now you look and all my grays have been translated into black dots, which is what the bitmap does, so that when I expose the screen, it captures all that gray information. So I need to do this for every individual file. So change each one to a bitmap, make sure that the lines per inch matches, and then I need to change the angle for each color. So the magenta is 75, and then I'm going to do the same for the yellow, change it to a bitmap, pixels per inch are the same, frequency is the same, yellow angle is 0 degrees. And then last but not least is the black key. So pixels per inch same, frequency same, and the black key angle is 45 degrees. So now I have all these files set up as a bitmap. So my print output, if you're printing these off of a laser printer at home that you plan on soaking the transparencies with oil, this is how you would output it. So you need to add printing marks. So you want the registration marks, which are the little targets in the corners, and the labels, which tell you what individual files are. So you know which one your cyan is, magenta, so you don't have to go back and compare the images from your Photoshop file to the outputted file. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not. And that's how you output your stencils for a CMYK screen print.